April 4, 2021, 10:32:35.
Police and fire, what's the address of your emergency?
Yes, there's been a severe car accident on
Where?
Highway 42.
What's the cross
County
street?
Road 42. What's the cross street?
Bubble Barn.
Bubble Barn.
County Road 5.
County Road 5.
Okay, how many vehicles?
Happened. Two vehicles.
Is anybody injured?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what kind of injuries?
We don't know.
We're driving past it.
But they're completely
They're
total.
completely
It looks like it's
total.
going to start on fire.
Okay, are you there anymore?
No.
We've driven by.
Okay, stop. They've been on the way this entire time. This is just getting more information for them for when they arrive, okay? Like I said, we have a lot of help on the way. Thank you for calling.
Yep, thank you.
10:32:39.
911, is this a life or death emergency?
Yes, it is. There was a car crash on 42, like right by the gas station.
42, hold on. 42 and what?
But I don't know. Whatever's by the Bubble
What
Barn.
happened?
The red car was turning like by the
Tell me what happened. Accident or I can't
A car
understand.
crash. Yes, a car crash.
Is anyone injured?
Yes.
Okay, is it blocking traffic? I need someone to talk to me.
The car's on fire. There's one car on fire.
A car's on fire from it? Which car's on fire?
The white car, the Chrysler car's on fire.
Okay, do you see flames or just smoke?
Yes, there's flames and smoke.
Okay, is anyone in the vehicle that's on fire?
No, not in the vehicle, but the car and the SUV, there's somebody that is not conscious.
Just stay on the line with me. I have lots of help on the way. Are you involved or are you just passerby?
No, I'm a passerby, but my friend's brother and sister were in the car that just got hit.
The story of Camille Lashay Dennis-Bond, a 21-year-old woman sentenced to 15 years in prison for her involvement in a deadly car crash, is a haunting tale of recklessness, the fatal consequences of irresponsible actions, and a stark reminder of the importance of accountability on the roads. This tragic case, which took place in Burnsville, Minnesota in 2021, claimed the lives of two young individuals, Dalton Lee Ford and Taylor Nicole Garza, both 22 years old. The crash was the culmination of years of reckless driving on Camille's part, further intensified by her participation in a dangerous street race with her brother, Leon Bond III, on that fateful day.
No, is she dead? Is she dead? That's all I need to know.
I have no idea.
Well, she better be. If she's not, I'm stuffing on that head. I'm in the car. I'm going to my car.
Camille Dennis-Bond, a troubled history. To fully understand the gravity of Camille Dennis-Bond's actions, it is crucial to examine her past, which was marred by a troubling history of reckless driving. Camille had several citations for speeding and careless driving prior to the deadly crash, showing a consistent pattern of disregard for traffic laws. In 2020 alone, she was cited 3 times for speeding, which should have served as a wake-up call to modify her behavior behind the wheel. Unfortunately, the warnings went unheeded. By 2021, Camille's driving record had not improved. In September of that year, she was cited for driving with a suspended license, a serious offense in itself. The following month, she was caught speeding yet again, this time traveling at 59 miles per hour in a 35 mph zone, putting both her and others at risk. Despite these citations, Camille continued her reckless behavior, demonstrating a disturbing lack of concern for the consequences of her actions. But Camille's reckless behavior extended beyond speeding tickets and citations. In May 2021, she was cited for driving 79 miles per hour in a 60 mph zone along Interstate 494 in Minnetonka, a violation that further solidified her history of dangerous driving. However, it wasn't just her own actions that led to the crash that killed Dalton Ford and Taylor Garza. It was a combination of Camille's dangerous driving history and the events that unfolded on Easter Sunday, April 4th, 2021.
It is a nice day outside. I know that the police are out. We see the state troopers out. We were not going fast. I said, we're going to just go the speed limit up here. He said, okay. His car has more horsepower than mine does. So obviously it's going to sound like it because I know how the engine sounds. Okay. And I'm going to spit fact. My car is slow. Okay. But I was in front, so he knows I was in front. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to be in front because he's going to follow my lead. We were not going fast. She gassed on it. When I mean she gassed on it, she didn't see him because he was behind me. Actually, my car was up there, but I moved it up here because it was rolling back and it was still in drive. I don't want to mess up my transmission. She gassed on it to try to beat him.
Okay, so
I appreciate you telling me all that type of stuff. So, like I said, our process is this, okay?
Please don't do that. So, I'm already black and it already looks bad enough.
It has nothing to do with race, man. We have 2 people that are dead right now caused by an accident.
Because you and your brother on it.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with me and my brother. Okay. We were not speeding. Okay. What do you not understand?
You know what the speed limit is on here?
Yes, it's 55. We were going 60.
Okay.
It's not my problem that she wanted to be a dumb and trying to beat us. Okay. That's not my problem. Okay. You placing me under arrest for something that we did not do. We have digital dashes, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna get all that.
We have digital dashes. So therefore, we were going 60.
So you don't have to yell at me.
I have to because you don't understand.
Okay, so here's what is gonna happen.
No, I'm not. Okay. You're not placing me under arrest or anything.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. Baby, I love you. I love all of you guys.
Stay there.
Let's stay, please, baby.
You're gonna be in handcuffs in a minute if you don't stay over there.
Please, baby, I love you guys. I love all you guys.
Let's go put on that trooper.
I love you, Mom. Yep. Yeah, and yes, they did use force, and I was not resisting.
So, miss, what we'll do is we'll take a statement from you and everything you said.
Can you take me out of these, please?
When we get back to our station, okay?
Love you guys.
Can you, Jay, you want to pat her down quick?
I don't have anything.
I know, I gotta make sure.
There's nothing in my ass. I need to got no drawers off.
Listen. Okay.
I need to got no drawers off.
Okay.
Easter Sunday, the race that ended lives. On the morning of April 4th, 2021, Camille Dennis-Bond was not driving alone. She and her 17-year-old brother, Leon Bond III, were engaging in a high-speed street race on Dakota County Road 42, a major road in Burnsville. The speed limit on that stretch of road was 50 miles per hour, but Camille and Leon, in separate cars, pushed their vehicles far beyond that limit. According to a crash reconstruction report, Leon Bond's Chrysler 200 reached an astonishing 114 miles per hour just 5 seconds before the fatal collision occurred. As they raced recklessly down the road, neither Camille nor her brother considered the lives of the innocent people driving near them. At approximately 10:30 a.m., Leon's car ran a red light and T-boned a Honda CR-V driven by Dalton Ford. Taylor Garza was seated in the passenger seat. The force of the impact was devastating. Both Dalton and Taylor were killed instantly. Their young lives were cut tragically short by a senseless and avoidable accident. Camille, driving a Chevrolet Malibu, narrowly avoided crashing into the Honda, but her involvement in the race meant that she was equally responsible for the fatal outcome. Although she did not physically collide with the victim's vehicle, her participation in the race set in motion the chain of events that led to their deaths. The aftermath of the crash was horrific. Witnesses who arrived at the scene described the sight of the wreckage as catastrophic: twisted metal, broken glass, and 2 young lives lost. Emergency responders could do nothing to save Dalton and Taylor, whose lives had been taken in an instant.
Is there still a person in here? 2 in here. Yeah, the driver and one in the back seat. 85,
I'm arriving. And it is on
45, 122 or 86. We've got 2 trapped inside of a vehicle that'll need to be pried out. I don't know if they've got either the 2 have a pulse.
No.
Okay, I understand your concern.
Yeah.
I'll just have you wait back here. Thank you.
That's okay.
I'm not getting a pulse on the back seat. These people aren't coming out of this vehicle, right? Nope. Am I seeing that right? Okay. Yep. All right. I appreciate your assistance. Thank you.
I'm a former EMT.
Oh, you are? All right.
Dalton Ford and Taylor Garza, 2 promising lives lost. The 2 victims of the crash, Dalton Ford and Taylor Garza, were young, hard-working individuals with bright futures ahead of them. Dalton, a skilled auto technician, was employed at Luther White Bear Acura, while Taylor worked as a team leader at Target. The couple, originally from Prescott, Wisconsin, had been together for several years and shared a deep love for one another. Their friends and families described them as kind-hearted, driven, and full of potential. Dalton and Taylor were also colleagues at Vino in the Valley, a popular restaurant in Maiden Rock, Wisconsin. Dalton worked in the kitchen as a cook, while Taylor was a bartender. They were well loved by their coworkers and customers alike. The couple had plans for the future, but those dreams were shattered in a moment of reckless, selfish behavior. Their deaths left a void that could never be filled.
Two families today enraged and shocked by the criminal justice system. Their children were killed 2 years ago when a pair of siblings were street racing in Burnsville. Today they learned the then teenage driver who was sentenced as a minor will soon head home. Our Paul Bloom has been covering this case from the start. And Paul, this development really captures the discrepancy between adult consequences and those in the juvenile system.
Sure does, Kelsey. Our viewers may remember this one. Taylor Garza and her boyfriend Dalton Ford, a promising young couple in their early 20s, killed in a horrific crash on an Easter Sunday morning. Two drivers were at fault, a brother and sister drag racing side by side at dangerous speeds. One was convicted in adult court, sentenced to 15 years in prison. The other now going home before his 21st birthday.
You know, it's hard to sit in that courtroom and just have none of our feelings acknowledged.
The parents of Dalton Ford and Taylor Garza share so much together. Their frustration with the criminal justice system, as well as a lifetime of grief.
They deserved better than a summary.
The young couple from Prescott, Wisconsin, who first met in middle school, might be married today. Tragically, though, their lives cut short. Killed in a violent crash along County Road 42 in Burnsville. Their vehicle split in two. The driver who T-boned them Easter morning 2+ years ago, Leon Bond, who was just a couple months short of his 18th birthday. He was drag racing his older sister, Camille Dennis-Bond, in the very next lane at obscene speeds before the deadly impact.
They are equally guilty.
A jury ultimately convicted Camille, who was 19 at the time, on charges of third-degree murder, even though her car was not physically involved in the crash. A Dakota County judge sentenced Camille to 15 years in prison. But her brother was adjudicated as a juvenile, despite appeals from prosecutors and the victims' families. He pleaded guilty to the same murder charges, but has now completed in-custody programming at Red Wing before his 21st birthday.
Both of their families expressed their profound grief in the wake of the crash, struggling to come to terms with the senseless loss of their loved ones. Dalton's and Taylor's obituaries reflected the deep love they had for each other and the profound impact their deaths had on their community. Camille's trial and lack of remorse.
No, is she dead? Is she dead? That's all I need to know.
I have no idea.
Well, she better be. If she's not, I'm stuffing her in that head. I'm in my car. I'm going to my car.
Following the crash, it took several months for law enforcement to complete their investigation and reconstruct the events that had led to the fatal collision. In October 2021, Camille Dennis-Bond and her brother Leon were both formally charged for their roles in the crash. Camille faced 2 counts of third-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide, criminal vehicular operation resulting in great bodily harm, and careless driving. The charges reflected the severity of her actions and the need for accountability. During the trial, which took place in Dakota County District Court, Camille showed little remorse for the deaths of Dalton Ford and Taylor Garza. Her lack of emotion in the courtroom was noted by those present, and it only deepened the pain felt by the victims' families. Camille's previous driving record, including her numerous speeding tickets and citations, was presented as evidence of her pattern of reckless behavior. It became clear that the crash was not an isolated incident, but rather the culmination of years of dangerous driving. In December 2021, a Dakota County jury convicted Camille on all charges. The conviction was a small measure of justice for Dalton's and Taylor's families, who had been waiting for accountability for months. But the emotional toll of the trial was immense, especially given Camille's apparent lack of remorse. In January 2022, Camille's brother, Leon Bond, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of third-degree murder as part of a plea agreement. Because Leon was 17 at the time of the crash, he was sentenced under Minnesota's extended juvenile jurisdiction, which allowed him to avoid an adult prison sentence. Instead, Leon was placed on juvenile probation until the age of 21, with the condition that he complete a long-term program at Red Wing Correctional Facility. Although Leon was not sent to prison, the sentence reflected the seriousness of his actions and the role he played in the deadly crash. Camille, however, was not so fortunate. In February 2022, she was sentenced to 15 years in prison by Dakota County District Judge Tim Wormiger. The sentence brought some closure to the victims' families, but for Dalton's and Taylor's loved ones, no sentence could ever bring back their cherished family members.